Hello, I'm Brannon Howse with Worldview Weekend Foundation and WVW Broadcast Network. From May 15th to June 15th, 2018, we're hosting our spring Share-a-Thon. We need your support as we continue to grow and proclaim and defend a biblical worldview. As you know, in April of 2017, a man came into our conference in Sioux Falls, South Dakota with 2 weapons and a Quran. He was removed by the off-duty police officers that we had hired for security. Out in the parking lot, he then made a series of Facebook videos in which he threatened Sharam Hadian and myself and brandished 5 weapons, including 2 semi-automatic rifles, and what he later said was 1,200 rounds of ammunition. Then in April of 2018, we had 4 out of 5 of our conferences shut down. After the Southern Poverty Law Center, what we believe is a communist front group, listed the hotels and address of the hotels and phone number of the hotels on a website. It was picked up by communist Antifa groups and Muslim groups as well. The hotels received so many, threats, according to them, they pulled our contracts, even though we spent 6 months and many thousands of dollars mailing out a full-color magazine to 80,000 mailboxes. We could never hold our event and recoup our costs with our free will offering. And now, my friends, we have no choice but to expand our television studio and host most of our Worldview Weekends now right here from our TV studio. I've been hosting Worldview Weekends for 25 years as of this past February 2018. 25 years. Little did I believe when I started the Worldview Weekends in February of 1993 that years later, we would have to spend thousands of dollars just in security in order to hold a Worldview Weekend. Little did I believe that many churches would refuse to hold a Worldview Weekend because we were considered too conservative, too biblical. Nor did I think the day would come when we couldn't even rent hotel ballrooms because of the threats from communist groups and Islamist groups. Yet, my friends, that's where we find ourselves today in 2018, 25 years after we founded Worldview Weekend. So we're expanding our television studio. We've been in this TV studio for many, many years. It's not very big, and in fact, we're doing good just to have one other person join me here on the set. Our new studio will be about 3 times the size. It will allow us to host Friday night, all-day Saturday Worldview Weekend conferences, just like we've been doing in hotel ballrooms throughout America for many years. We'll also be able to hold one-night Worldview Weekend events, just like we've been doing our free Worldview Weekend rallies for many years. By having a larger studio, we will not only be able to hold our Worldview Weekend rallies as you've come to expect them with a presenter at the news desk, but we'll be able to add in a swinging boom camera and other things to make the broadcast even more professional than they are now. But most importantly, we'll be able to gather all the speakers together in one room in our TV studio and carry out live panel discussions. Right now, we can only put myself and one other person on the set. We'll be able to put 5, 6, 7 people on the set at one time in our brand new extended sized studio. Will you help us with these costs? Did you know that we're also attacked online and groups try to bring down our website many times in a given year? In fact, sometimes these attacks are so brutal that we have to bring in specially trained computer technicians to stop the attacks. It's not uncommon that it will cost us $1,000 in one night paying a variety of computer technicians to stop these attacks from bringing down our entire website. So you see, my friends, there are a lot of expenses and a lot of costs with maintaining a free broadcast network that you've come to appreciate. Whether it's Worldview Radio or the TV programs that you've come to appreciate, well, it costs an awful lot. And so our spring Share-a-Thon is more important now than ever before. Will you help us recoup the costs that we lost by not being able to carry out our spring Worldview Weekends in those 5 cities we had planned? Would you help us with the cost of expanding our television studio so that we can go into that studio this summer or late summer and be ready for the fall conferences and the free Sunday night rallies that we're going to be doing from this TV studio? It's vital we hear from you. You can give online by just going to WVW-Foundation.com. You can give by PayPal or credit card right there at WVW-Foundation.com. You can also send a check to our mailing address that is on the screen, P.O. Box 1690, Collierville, Tennessee 38027. No matter how you give, Thank you so much. And no matter how much you give, thank you so much. We will continue to do as we promised you we would do. Build a broadcast network that will proclaim and defend the biblical worldview, finding qualified men who can bring the issues of the day to us and help us to understand how God would have us to respond through the lens of a biblical worldview. I think we've proven our doctrinal faithfulness, and I think we've also been willing to cover a lot of cultural issues through the lens of a biblical worldview that many other people would never talk about. So we've assembled, providentially, I believe, one of the best broadcast network teams ever to exist from a biblical worldview perspective. And if you want that to continue and to grow, will you please partner with us right now with a tax-deductible contribution? You can also call our phone number, 901-853-8792. That's 901-853-8792. Whether you give by phone, whether you give online, or whether you give through the mail with a check, however you give, and no matter how much you give, thank you so much for partnering with us as together we proclaim and defend a biblical worldview. Thank you.